I don't know if you can see this, but up at the house, it's like a plane flying overhead. There's a swarm of bees going right over me. I don't know if you can see them. Oh, they're coming back now. So we're back by that back mulberry tree. You hear them? Yeah, they're all coming back. They're going to swarm right in front of me somewhere here. You can see them all buzzing around this tree. This is the mulberry tree back by the field. Oh, now they're buzzing around me. I'm going to back off. I don't have my suit on. I mean, it literally sounded like a helicopter going over. And I looked up and there was just a cloud of bees. So I was following them. I was running after them, looking up, stopping and listening. So when the bees swarm, they found a new home and they're on their way there. So the queen leaves and then she comes out and they'll rest in a tree. Sometimes they'll be there for a half hour. They're still around me. Half hour to an hour. Sometimes they'll be there 24 hours and then they'll take off. So I can still see them buzzing around everywhere. I'm gonna watch and see if I can see where they're clustering up at, and maybe I can get back here and collect them up. But if they're in the tree somewhere, I can just see them flying everywhere. And they're really all around me. They're just really buzzing. I'm just gonna back off here. Oh yeah, they're all around me. I can see them everywhere in the trees. They're not headed in one direction. They were headed southeast, but now they're all just kind of buzzing around in circles. So if the queen landed, it's almost like they're trying to get their bearings to decide where she's at. They'll find her and then cluster around her. So probably here in the next 10-15 minutes, I'll start to see the cluster form. They are everywhere. I hope you can see this. They're buzzing all around me too. Luckily, when they're in a swarm, they're really not aggressive. I don't expect to get stung, but you never know. Oh yeah, they're really gathering up. I don't know if these are from my hive. I know the people across the street, I know they had a swarm or a hive in one of their trees. So this could have been from mine. Could have been from theirs. I know there's a guy down the road who's got some beehives. Could have been one of his. Who knows? But I definitely got to get them before they get into, once they find their new nest. It's a lot harder to get them out. So if I can catch them when they're in the tree, that would be ideal. So I'll wait a little bit and see what happens. Eventually the swarm settled down in a tree branch around 12 feet up, which was the perfect height to use with a skid steer bucket as a working surface. Usually I'm up on a ladder, so this was a nice improvement. The swarm was about the size of a basketball and contained around 20,000 bees or so, I guess. 1 pound is around 4,000 bees, and this was way heavy to try and hold with one hand, as you'll soon see. Wasn't as graceful as I would have liked. Well, it didn't go quite as planned because the half of them fell off as I was cutting the branch down, which I needed to have probably another set of hands up there. But I got most of them. We'll see if they swarm back up. We'll let them sit there for a little bit. See if they all cluster around the box that the queen is in. And then we'll go transport them over to the apiary. Well, I got the apiary set up and the bees. I'm back here where the swarm was. And they've calmed down quite a lot. I was hoping they'd all go into the box where the queen is, but no such luck. At least they are calmed down a lot. I bet if I went up there on the top, I'd see that they're all kind of clustered on the top there. But a few bees missing isn't a big deal. So I'll go ahead and drive these back to the apiary and get them set up. Walmart is not sponsoring this video. It's just the only box that I could find at short notice. I really needed a bigger box, but it wasn't a very big cluster, so it fit in here okay. So what I got here is I got my super set up, and I've taken 3 frames out. These frames are from a hive last year that failed on me, but the frames are all cleaned up and they're good to go. So I'm going to take the bees, dump them in here. I've got the exit blocked right now, so the bees will be stuck in here for at least 24 hours before I opened it up. I'll give them a chance to go through the hive and check things out and get used to it. If you put them in there and then just open it up right away, they'll be flying in and out, but you'll come back the next day and they'll all be gone. So those 3 frames are over there. So once I get them set inside, I'll wiggle those 3 frames in there, put the top on, I'll leave them for a while. Ideally, I need to get like a protein patty or some sugar water or something like that in here so they can have something to eat and they'll really want to stay more. So I may be able to slide that in at the bottom here later today or tomorrow. But inside this box, there's a cluster of bees about so big, about the size of a basketball maybe, and they're all on a stick. So I'll open the box up, shake them into the super here, and then we should be good to go. They're going to be flying around everywhere. I really need to have some sugar water. So if you spray them with sugar water, they can't fly, and then they'll just eat the sugar off their wings. They'll clean themselves. I really need to have that, but on short notice, I couldn't find my bottles or anything. So hopefully they'll all stay in there. Won't have any issues. Only one way to find out, and that's to get this ball rolling. Usually when they swarm, they're pretty docile, so they really shouldn't be too ticked off at me here. Give the box a shake, knock them all to the bottom, dump them in. Alright, that's it. I'll leave the box out here. Hopefully the ones that are not inside will cluster up around. There's a good 90+% chance that the queen is in there. She's usually clustered up inside. So it really shouldn't be a problem. Down below it's open. The bottom of my hives are screens so that varroa mites and hive beetles and everything can fall at the bottom after the bees clean the hive. I'm going to look through the ones in here and just make sure the queen wasn't hiding on me, but she should be in there already. Definitely do not see the queen. Probably 100 or so worker bees in here. So that's it for today. Come back tomorrow and tomorrow afternoon and look inside there a little bit. Maybe give them some sugar water, give them a protein patty, something along those lines. I got some food to chew on. If I had this pre-set up, I would have gone to one of my existing hives and taken a frame of comb and put that in there, a frame of honey, excuse me, to get them going and give them something to eat. But this just kind of happened spur of the moment. But I'll let them do their thing. They'll probably cluster up again. If I can get them clustered, I may try and put more in there. And then we'll see how things go. But for right now, they're pretty well set.